without further ado, we're going to get into our player interviews for the Quiz vs. Dwoh match. So stick with us. This will be blast.
Hi, I'm Dwoh. You can call me Dwoh, or whatever else that works. And I'm a 17-year-old Korean Minecraft speedrunner. So the first time I actually remember playing Minecraft was on my cousin's computer. I think this was back in like 2012 or 2013. I didn't really get into it until I think 2018 when I started playing Bed Wars with my friends. So I started watching speedruns in June 2020 when 1.16 came out, but I only started running in late 2021. I think the reason that I started was just because I was getting bored of Bed Wars and other games in general, and I also had a lot of free time back then. I'm really excited to have made it this far, but it feels very weird. I just genuinely didn't consider myself a top runner. I've actually felt that way for a very long time. Even until like a few months ago, I didn't even consider myself a top runner. Obviously, I'm scared of silver.
I'm pretty sure I forgot a fork in the microwave once.
But I think right now I'm more worried about my upcoming matches, like against kW1st and maybe against Dwoh or Loki in the semifinals. I just want to make it as far as I can. No real expectations at this point. I actually don't do anything else though. I just study and speedrun Minecraft when I have the free time. That's literally all I do. I'm gonna try to study in Australia. I was looking into like pharmacy, and I'm a huge LA Dodgers fan.
Yo, my name is Nikos and I'm a 16-year-old Minecraft speedrunner from Russia. I started playing Minecraft 9 years ago on minigame servers. Every day when I came home, I sat down at my old laptop to play Bed Wars and other games. In 2019, one popular Minecraft Russian streamer started speedrunning Minecraft. His streams got me into it. Also, I'm interested in PvP games, that's why I always play UHC with other Russian streamers.
Просто расстреливает. Чисто с дробовичком.
Those were sick. Shout outs to Bendo for editing Dwoh's video, and kW1st actually did the editing on his own video. So shout outs. We have a lot more people helping us behind the scenes for this week. Those are so sick to watch. I'm hyped. We're watching them for the first time, as well as you guys watching them for the first time. So that was sick.
That's pretty awesome. Yeah,
they were both like adorable. It gives us like info. And again, like you said, just the storylines, right? Like Dwoh not even expecting that he would get this far, right? And just looking, I liked his mental though, like hyper analyzing the interview, like taking it one match at a time. Like when it was like, who is he scared of, right? Like thinking in order of the bracket. And I think that's a good way to pace yourself, right? Like it's just one match at a time. If you look too far ahead, you could not focus on the game that you have to play to win to get there.
Absolutely.
So I don't know, man. I mean, he said he was scared of kW1st. I'd imagine kW1st is scared of Dwoh, but I mean, we'll have to see. And before we get into our seed selection for this match, we actually have game recaps as well for every game here. So we're going to throw it over to Fulham with last week's recaps of kW1st and Dwoh's play, how they got to the top 8, how they're here with us today.
So we're going to go through Dwoh's match from last week, first and foremost, because he was meant to be the first person in the bracket down there, but just pretend like he's there. And, of course, he was able to take game number 1. Obviously, there's a few games that we weren't actually able to analyze afterwards. We agreed to analyze after every game that went to one match apiece. And we're going to quickly run through Dwoh's game. His match did go to 1 game each against Priffin. Firstly, we're going to see that Priffin was ahead at the initial start point, but sadly, because of his Pearl Hang, he went to grab this blaze rod here and then lost a lot of time having to run back to the spawner, allowing Dwoh to go for a little bit of an extensive play and gain some lead. Sadly, though, Dwoh went for an audacious attempt at a one-eye, and as we can see here, when he does actually preemptive this portal room, we notice the fact that it is, in fact, a zero-eye, which is, you know, arguably a good reason for Priffin to be able to come back, hits this zero, or at least attempts this zero cycle, and sadly, after the end of this zero cycle, it allows Dwoh to have an attempt to come back and make up for his prior mistake, due to the fact that he dies after getting knocked off of the 1 in 8. Does try for the boat clutch, but doesn't quite get there. Dwoh plays safe and goes for the 1 cycle, and is able to take Seed 1. The fact that he was only able to take this due to a mistake was a little bit of a worry going into game number 2, and we see very early on that his mental may have started to be crumbling due to this lava incident 30 seconds into the match. Digging down on a tree for some stone, and unfortunately, getting a little, getting a little caught up there. Priffin again messing up a pearl hang, but Dwoh gets into the stronghold, but sadly, Priffin was able to take it. Played very clean. Priffin was on top the entire time. Dwoh does lose a lot of time on this seed, and although it wasn't shown, Priffin here messes up the zero pearl, and we have the side-by-side view, which is something new. Thank you very much to B for pulling this up for us. We can see that Dwoh is in fact still in the stronghold at this point after Priffin messes up that pearl for zero. However, as many of you guys remember, Dwoh did in fact get the perch before Priffin in this match, meaning that Dwoh was able to take the victory 2-1. Slight underdog, I would say, getting a little bit of a luckier victory here, but graciously was able to take it through. And now we're going to go over to his opponent for today, which is kW1st. So, we're going to see this matchup right here, hopefully, as soon as it loads. Fantastic. kW1st made an early mistake with this portal while playing 7 Raul, and was had a little bit of a mess up early on, but was still able to clutch it out due to this missed portal by Raul. We can see here that kW1st was able to hit the stronghold, but Raul actually built his portal incorrectly on, I believe this was -6 on the nether rather than the correct 6, than the correct coordinates on +6, meaning that he missed the stronghold in its entirety, had to go and dig through, took a while, and kW1st was able to finish out the 1 cycle much, much earlier on. Got the perch much, much easier. However, in game 2, we were able to see that Raul was able to take a lot of his good points from game 1 and convert it into a victory. kW1st lost a minute after leaving the Bastion and going the wrong direction for the fortress, was traveling in the positive Z direction away from spawn, whereas we noted that the fortress was actually visible on spawn. So this was a mistake that he made, causing him to lose quite a bit of time. And we see here that he actually uses the pie chart to find where that fortress is, finds the location, and we see once again, kW1st makes a second mistake on back-to-back seeds, misplacing an obsidian. However, this one was a lot more important because it was placed inside the location of that second portal. kW1st made an amazing comeback in the fortress, but lost all of that time back to forcibly having to remove this obsidian. Was really, really unlucky, and Raul was able to zero cycle to take home the victory while kW1st was in the stronghold. Game number 3 rolls round. We see that it's basically, it was even up until the Bastion leave. However, Raul played the fortress a lot stronger. You can see here that Raul is around about 50 seconds ahead in the, while entering this stronghold. Raul enters the stronghold roughly a minute faster, but uses the preemptive here and sadly locates a mine shaft, getting a spider spawner. However, if you look on the left-hand side here, kW1st one-shots this nav straight to the spawner and is able to enter the end faster than Raul. So not only does that instant nav help him out, but the instant perch prevents Raul from being able to come back in this game, meaning that arguably two of the underdogs are really facing off against each other in this matchup. kW1st versus Dwoh. An amazingly exciting match. I'm going to assume this one's going to go to the wire. We may see some mistakes here, as we did in their previous round of 16 matchups. But personally, I do think that out of anyone, I do think that Dwoh made slightly fewer mistakes. And I think he may be able to clutch this game out if he plays consistently. But if we see that kW1st doesn't make as many mistakes as last time, it could go either way. So I'm going to throw this one back over to Nerdy and Feinberg, who are going to take you into game number 1. So best of luck to both of these runners, and I will see you for the halftime analysis.
Feinberg's muted. It's funny. You guys can laugh at him.
Dude,
for that
I
one.
said in Discord too that I gotta remember to unmute, and I didn't remember.
I just want to say that one's his fault, right? Anyways, but yeah, so some exciting match. This is an exciting match. I mean, it's kind of a sad match, I would say, in my humble opinion, because these are two underdogs. We saw last week two pretty big upsets, I would say, as far as the round of 16. Raul losing and also Priffin losing was pretty surprising, I would say. I think that was a big upset. And so now we have sort of two lesser known or sort of, lower ranked runners up in this round of 8, and it's exciting, but unfortunately one of them has to go.
Yeah, sad in the sense that we're gonna lose an underdog story. Not sad in the sense that the players playing or whatever, the storylines there.
Yes,
and I mean, you're right. Like both of these players, and the film recaps too, showing that they won a little bit in part due to the mistakes of their opponents in some matches, because we saw them making mistakes themselves. So I think today, especially with 5 seeds instead of 3, it's going to maybe come down to who can iron out those mistakes from last week, have those not happen again this week. Because if you don't make mistakes and your opponent makes mistakes, you're probably just going to win the seed, even if you're a little slower overall. If you put an obsidian in your portal, that's like 20-30 seconds. If you die, that's potentially 5 minutes. If you go the wrong way, that's like a minute or 2. So if you can just play consistent, then that could be it. So we're going to see who can iron out their mistakes better. We're going to throw it over to our seed selection right before we get into our first match of our quarterfinals day. Nerdy, the curse continues. We're never going to see the Shipwreck seeds played. There was no point in even seed finding for them or running the filter. No one's going to play a Shipwreck. It's not going to happen. That's my cold take for the entire day, is we will just never play a Shipwreck.
I
Same.
think this is interesting, and I'm wondering if here's the issue, right? Is that not only is it that one of the two players not only do both players not necessarily like Shipwrecks on average, right? But if either one of them dislike Shipwrecks a lot, then they can get rid of them. So even if one player of the two is comfortable on Shipwrecks and is willing to, maybe go a little bit more risky with their playstyle, then it still doesn't matter, because the other player can just ban it. And so I think that's the problem. In order to get a Shipwreck, we need to have both players be somewhat comfortable on Shipwrecks. That's what needs to happen.
Yeah, it's like, because each player gets the one ban right away. I mean, I'd have to look at who banned them in the matches last time, but a surprising fact from yesterday, or from last week's matches as well, is Shipwreck was banned every single time. And Nerdy, if you had to think of a seed type that was picked and played in every single match last week, all 8 matches, what seed type do you think was played all 8 times? Obviously not going to be Desert Temple. Was it Village, Ruined Portal, or BT? What do you think was played in every single match?
It's Ruined Portal. That's my guess.
Yeah, how weird is that? How weird that it's not Buried Treasure, it's Ruined Portal that every single best of 3 saw. No one banned it, and it was always played. Even in the 2-0s, it was always played. So there's something there to everyone's mental together. Like, if you lose the first seed, they were picking Ruined Portal instead of picking the other like seed that was left over. And even here,
Yeah.
Ruin Portal's the first seed to be played instead of Buried Treasure, where you think everyone would be more comfortable on. Because
Yeah, I mean,
yeah, I don't know.
well, I'm wondering if maybe it has something to do with the fact that a lot of these players are ranked players at the end of the day. I mean, some of them are RSG as well, and a lot of them, of course, play. But if you primarily play ranked, then I mean, it's kind of nice to have a ruin portal, you know? Like you can get really fast uh at shipwreck, you can get really fast at desert temple, you can get really fast at buried treasure. But in RSG, you play buried treasure. You can like exclusively play buried treasure and be totally fine. And so I think that some players that maybe play more ranked than they do RSG, it's possible I could find that they would find rune portals to be more sort of even, I guess, because they're not competing against these RSG players that only play BT, and maybe that's the mindset. Um, but I don't know. At the same time, Ruin Portal, I think, is just very fast, very like low, sort of. There are not too many decisions. I mean, the main one is just whether you need food or not. But I think
Yeah,
it's really just about just kind of having it be very simple, straightforward, and let's make the real battle in the Nether kind of thing.
yeah. And with that, I mean, we've said all we can say. Throwing it over to our game. Our first game, reminder chat today, this is all for quarterfinal matches. It's going to be a best of 5 every time. So you have to win 3 seeds to win the match. Here's our Room Portal seed for the day. And I mean, it is what you said, right? Like it's very linear. So there's not much time to gain or lose if you're doing the same thing. Again, there are some decisions, maybe more than a BTC, like what food you're getting, how much blocks, especially if it's a little weird, what you have to craft and stuff. Like in this seed, these runners aren't going to be having an iron pick entering the nether. So we'll have to see how they're going to get the iron in the bastion. Can open up that would never happen in a buried treasure overworld, but they're going to probably be entering it around the exact same time. So you're right. I mean, there's something. If every single player wanted to play it last weekend, people must be more comfortable with it in some capacity. Right? Looks like Dwoh messed up his portal a little bit there, so there's going to be a slight separation here on our nether enter, but nothing crazy. And yeah.
I think I've seen some nerves already, some little misclicks from both sides, mainly in the inventory. Just misgrabbing the axe, for example, exiting the inventory or exiting the chest before having grabbed the axe to mine out the chest. I think that just comes down to nerves, really. Like I don't think it's anything too deep. Hopefully, those nerves will be ironed out throughout the match.
Exactly.
But yeah, something to keep an eye on.
Yeah, it's the only thing I noticed here too is that Quist has 1 cooked chicken and Dwo's got 3 and also 1 raw chicken, which it's not a great food source, but if you need to sprint or need to heal in a pinch, it is better than nothing. Assuming I don't even know the odds because raw chicken can give you like hunger, right? But I don't even know.
And we have a death from Quist, a reset.
Wow. Did he fall in the lava
Yeah.
in the manhunt
Yeah,
in the web part? Okay.
he just had him. He just moved wrongly and fell right into the lava at the bottom of this.
Damn.
Damn.
I
Yeah, that's
mean,
unfortunate. This housing.
it's not terrible
Yeah. True.
on the scale of deaths, right? Like we've seen people die 5-6 minutes into a seed. This is 2 minutes in, and he's got a little bit of info on the seed, so he doesn't have to do as much thinking in the overworld. Not like there was really much thinking to begin with.
Yes.
But yeah, it's still not great, especially because if Dwoh just plays to the best of his ability, is it even comebackable? Can
Right.
you claw back 2 minutes? If you look at our player info on the bottom, Dwo's got a better ranked average time than Quist does. So if he just plays his game for the rest of the seed, no mistakes, it might already be over. But again, like we saw in the recaps just 5-10 minutes ago, both these players made a very non-zero amount of mistakes yesterday or last week. So
Yes.
it's possible. I mean, we see one big mistake already 3 minutes into the seed. So could they be throwing mistakes back and forth? Is it, like I said, going to be who makes the least amount of mistakes? We'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah, I think that this match could be very decisive of the entire set. I think that if Quist can claw this game back, that's going to be really, really good for his mental. The fact that he died and still came back and won, I think would be really, really decisive. Like, okay, I can do this. I got this, and the confidence will really help ease the nerves moving forward. But I think, unfortunately, on the flip side, I think if he can't make this work, I think if this goes south and he can't come back from that mistake early on, I don't know. I feel like that could spiral. Like I feel like it'd be very, very easy to have that snowball effect that we've talked about in the past. Even going into next matches, like I instantly made a mistake, like really getting in your head. So I don't know. We'll see. Hopefully, Quist can not take it, not let it get to him too much. But I think it's gonna be hard.
Oh my God, Dwoh almost taking a death there. It was
Wow.
doing Pyre, dug out one block on the housing, and there's just no terrain. So just like the like 5%, 1%, just totally random, like stuff will just happen, and you just gotta be on your A game always. But I think you're right. I think it's not as bad for Quist as maybe we're making it out to sound, because at least in my personal experience, if there's a death like this, it's pretty easy to kind of shrug it off and just be like, I know I'm better than that. Like I just slipped, It wasn't
True.
like insane RNG that I can kind of get tilted at the game. Like it's very like I can kind of internalize that myself and just be like, all right, we're good. I'm chilling. Just gonna not do that again. Whereas if you make it back fully, I think it'd be really bad for Dwoh if like I knew that Quist died. I would feel
Do you?
like,
Do you think is it? I mean, yeah, I guess just because you're behind, but
well, I mean, you don't know now. I mean, you could obviously check in between the matches, right? Like if you
right,
have
sure,
time
sure,
to
sure.
deliberate there, but yeah, it's like it would be. I think it's more involving Quist's mental right now because Dwoh obviously has no idea. It's not like it says that.
Yeah,
Oh, Quist died. Oh, he's still in the Bastion looting stuff right now as Dwoh's entering our fort, and this looks like really good SSV, which I both like and I both dislike because again, he's got one raw chicken,
yeah,
4.5 hearts, one wither skelly hit. You're dead. He's got the 2 anchors and the 2 glowstone in his hotbar. So
yeah.
the
You
dude,
you
the
gotta
dude is ready, like
let's
which
expedite
is a
that,
good position to be in. But I mean, does it even matter? There's no strays. You might just play the spawner. I don't know if it's a lack of lowering render early or just some RNG because I mean there's no mobs at all. So must have just been a lack of early render lowering and got all the strays and the zombie pigs before. And Quist has made up some time. He's definitely not 2 minutes behind.
Yeah,
And I mean,
very impressive stuff.
he has no food. He hasn't hunger reset, but Dwoh has no food, and he's burned an anchor. So, like, oh my, like, 1.5. Like, I mean, he's gonna burn another anchor here. It's too risky, I think, to sit in the spawner at 1.5. And is Quist even ahead now? Like, I don't know. It's definitely not 2 minutes behind. I can tell you that for 100% certainty. That these players have Quist has closed the gap, whether it be to Dwoh playing like safer, took a lot of that damage and had to hunger reset before even getting to the fort. So Quist could have managed his health better, and I think he did. But how much did it matter in catching up this time? I don't know.
Yeah, Quist here, Blaze betting out a different spawner, on very similar levels of food though, unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean he's gonna lose sprint and half a bar. Like that's how well he's managed his food. He's played the entire seed, 0 food in the room portal because he was trying to claw back the time, or 0 food in the overworld from the chickens. He can't sprint anymore. Quist needs to hunger reset if he wants to move faster than a couple blocks a second. And I mean being on that soul sand helps, but he's not sprinting. Which is crazy. Definitely has to hunger reset before second portal. Maybe we'll hunger reset in the overworld to save a bed. I know Dwoh says he's got 8 beds and 1 anchor, so that's very zeroable. Looks like Quist can craft 2 anchors and 6 beds. So burning 1 explosive, even 2, even 3 isn't the end of the world for these players. They could still zero. So it really doesn't matter if he uses an anchor or a bed to hunger reset, but it will have to come out at some point. Unless there's food in the overworld, it is sometimes faster to kill like pigs, cows in the overworld for food. Definitely not when you're at 3 hunger and 5 hearts. Not in this situation. But maybe if you hunger reset and see the mobs, you can kill them and just save that food for later. You won't have to hunger reset in the portal room. Well, you can throw some more aggressive pearls. Could save some time, but I mean, while we've been talking nerdy, these players have 1 rod.
Yeah, I mean, it's just brutal. No food, terrible rates. I mean, this is brutal. And to be honest, like, this is why, I mean, we talked at the beginning, like, being a bit surprised of the Rune Portal. And for me, this is exactly what I think of when I think of Rune Portal. It's seeds like this, where you have to, like, really manage your food. That, yes, they are easier in the overworld, but a lot of times, if you don't have food, it's, like, much harder. Which is why I prefer,
Oh, this is good. Yeah, the glowstone there. It looks like he's trying to farm for anchors. Again, I don't think he needs to, because he'll have 8 explosives like now. Yeah, he's got 5 beds, because he used one for blaze bed, 6 beds. Yeah, like definitely more than enough. So not entirely sure why he's grabbing the glowstone there, but half a heart. I mean,
wow.
You're hunger resetting now for sure. I'm so scared. Get in the anchor. Oh my god. He's good. He's good. But yeah, I mean, especially when the rates are this brutal too, like it's not a huge deal because they have the anchors, but you can't even like head to the overworld early to do anything. And I mean, there's ocean here, so it'll be a weird hunger reset. Anyways, let's see how far the stronghold is. With no food, traveling to the nether can get dicey. Dwoh right now can throw 1 pearl. And if you throw 1 pearl, you're at 2.5, very risky. It's 250 blocks away. Potentially. And kW1st is doing home portal? Interesting. I didn't notice this at all, actually. Could be part of the reason why he caught up some time.
Right.
Left the Bastion earlier. And Dwoh wasn't the 200 that we thought. It was a second offset. It's going to be the 700, but it's going to speed up Dwoh's travel to second portal a lot. I don't even know if they're heading to the same stronghold. It looks like it potentially, but it's hard to read those Nimbot numbers. I don't know. It's not. I don't think it's the same stronghold. That might be negative on kW1st's on screen, and it looks like it's double positive for Dwoh. So it's going to be different strongholds. Dwoh's already out. kW1st wants some mushrooms here. That's nice, but I mean, this terrain looks beautiful for Dwoh and kW1st in a basalt. So I think Dwoh's going to pull ahead here, but they are different strongholds. It literally could go anyone's way. One of them could not even have a portal room. I don't know.
Well, how about that one? Oh, I guess you mean one of them could have like a ruined portal. They could keep it the theme.
I don't think it's checked for. Yeah, it is technically possible. Like I was trolling, but it is technically possible that one of these strongholds is broken. But yeah, I don't think that's gonna happen. So it's gonna come down more to who gets the better nav here.
Right.
Dwoh has a little bit of a lead, but again, this is not 2 minutes, and he missed. Is it a mismeasure? I'm looking at the eye measurements. Maybe it looks like 0.36 desync maybe on the first eye. I don't know. And kW1st is in, so he's in the lead now. And Dwoh digging down, he built it at 34. So unless the Strong's at Y14, he must have mismeasured and has to go up. This looks like a Crowpro situation. Maybe the Crowpro was above the Stronghold, so I don't know. And is that light? Is it the portal room for kW1st? Oh my god, it is. And this 2-minute death, I mean, did it matter?
Wow. Yeah, I mean, I think that's, like we said earlier, that's going to really boost the confidence as he enters the end here. And Dwoh is just digging.
Yeah, and is this 0 hittable? Oh, very easy, 95. Doesn't have a ton of health, but he's got a stew to eat it. But that bet is late. Doesn't break. Wow. So he's got enough explosives, I think, especially with the 2. They should be still fine. Yeah, 2 beds, 2 anchors as well. Even without the pre-placed anchors, you definitely get it done with 2 here. Not the cleanest 0, but he gets it done. And that's seed 1. Wow.
There we go.
I mean, the death didn't matter at all. I mean, this is still an impressive rank time, not even considering the death. Like 13 minutes on a seed.
Wow. Yeah, that's a good way to think about it.
Terrible. I mean, it is the playoffs. We're expecting a high level of play, but wow, like
shitting so
And
bad.
Dwoh again was ahead until the miss
Oh my God.
on
Yeah.
the second portal. Was it due to some eye measurements or something? But kW1st brought the time back.
Wow,
The 2-minute death just didn't matter.
that was shocking. I mean, I think that goes to show why it's so important to just, keep your head high, keep going when you die. Like it's he did everything he could, and I think that's just like the way you have to play. I think that this should be a big confidence boost for kW1st. You took a death, and you still won. I feel like that's like as good as it gets, right? Like, I mean, that it was a silly mistake, and you can easily not do that if you just focus a little harder during maybe the parts that you think are more sort of muscle memory or whatever. And that you can keep not only keep up, but you can catch up and get ahead. Like I think that's a really big
Yeah.
confidence booster for kW1st, or it should be at least.
And
in my
especially
opinion.
too that your opponent didn't die. Or I mean, you don't know for sure unless you watch, but like
Yes,
you were
yes.
behind always, but slowly bringing it back. I don't know if we can throw it over to the splits here for a second if we have those up for today, but we can maybe see the storyline in those splits if we have them. Just being able to slowly claw back that pace, perfect, amazing. And so yeah, I mean, it doesn't really showcase it in the first two splits because kW1st died like right as he touched the bastion. He entered the fort. Okay, so the colors are a little flipped, it looks like, in a couple of these splits. But he entered the fort 44 seconds slower. Stronghold 12 seconds slower. Maybe these splits are a little off, but that's okay. New week, new tech issues. Some of you guys in chat were saying that our commentary was a little behind as well. Yeah, that's our fault. It's fixed for next match, so we are good. We were a couple seconds behind, so a little smart of you guys to figure that out, but we've got it settled. And before we get into our seed 2, I'd like to remind all of our new viewers that we are sponsored by Creo. And if we want to throw it over to our finished art scene, beautiful. Again, these are higher quality on the website. These are 3 finished art pieces from last week that we voted on that our artists fully finish up their concept designs. I mean, I'm getting all 3 for 35% off at creocards.com. These are on the website now. If you purchase 2 at once, you get 25% off. If you purchase 3 at once, you get 35% off. There's 3 different sizes. Free shipping if your order is over $100. And I mean, these look amazing. Like, especially comparing to the drafts that we saw last week, like from every single artist here, like the detail that was added, the fish in the overworld, the piglins on the bastion in the
Yeah, look at
nether,
that.
and the lighting and the tower details. There's a cage on one of the towers there in the end, and just everything is just beautiful. Like, it's so cool.
The coral in the rad was out, and I think this little axolotl and pufferfish, like those little details in the shipwreck look so good. Then I don't know, as well as I just like look at I just feel like everything just looks so polished. I mean, last week was amazing. Like I was blown away, but then this week is like just taking it to that next level. Bringing it up to 11.
Yeah, I mean, they're great. The artists blew ourselves away with just the drafts, and then upgraded it, like you said. It's just amazing. And with that, I think we have our seed pick ban for seed 2 of our first best of 5 here between kW1st and Dwoh. So we'll throw it over to that, and then we'll be ready to show you guys game 2. See if Dwoh can bounce back from seemingly just being slower in almost every split. Again, maybe a little bit of food mismanagement and did miss the stronghold, so could have easily still won that seed, but going to be playing a village here for seed 2 instead of the BT. That's interesting, Nerdy. Neither of these runners banned buried treasure, but they don't want to play it either.
Yeah,
What do
that's
you think about
interesting.
that?
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, I think buried treasure is one of those things where it's a skill. You know what I mean? I mean, obviously every seed is a skill, but I feel like buried treasure is a very, very particular skill. It's not like routing. It's not like, I mean, there is that, but it's specifically using your pie chart, which the other 4 options don't. And I think if you feel confident in that skill, then you're going to be more inclined to do it. And I think if you feel maybe you're not quite on the same level as other runners, or maybe you worry you might lose a second or two just to, second guessing your pie chart. Maybe you don't pick it for that reason. I mean, it's hard to say entirely, but I think at the end of the day, it's probably a thing of, how confident are you in your pie chart?
Exactly. I mean, we saw a seed last week in our best of threes just almost be completely decided due to just a false positive spike.
Right,
And
exactly.
Onyx losing a minute and a half. But it is interesting too, in these best of 5s, you have to play the first 3 seeds. Like it is
Yes.
just required. So it doesn't really matter the order that you pick them in. So we'll see. But I think with that, we might be ready to get into our game. And yeah, I mean, again, see if Dwoh can bounce back from this just little mini time losses here and there, or can kW1st carry that mental momentum. I think what you said was really important. Just seeing him, like, knowing that you clawed that time back, being completely behind, entering the nether again, especially with no food, like, yeah, and getting to the fort still on 5 hearts, and I think the only damage he took was from the 2 pearls that he threw.
Right?
Oh, this is there's a new village house dropped. Oh man.
Wow.
I mean, there's a blacksmith here too. This could be really fast if this is a 10 obby blacksmith. And there enters right here. And I mean, okay, like
amazing.
it is like obviously more common because it's a part of a ranked like filter, but that is crazy, no? Like
wow. I mean, hey, I would gladly play this seed.
oh my god, nerdy. Someone just reminded me in chat. This is our shipwreck seed.
True.
They're talking to us.
Actually true.
This is our shipwreck seed. Not in the conventional way, but this is our shipwreck seed for the day. Oh my god, it's beautiful.
We won. We won. This is how we get them.
We did it. We did it. We did it. And the only thing that is weird is kW1st has a TNT. Dwoh made a pressure plate for Flint, maybe. But kW1st can TNT for blocks in the nether. And he found a better Flint patch.
Nice.
Definitely visible for both players. kW1st struggling for the gravel. Found a very similar one. And it was first try Flint. So that TNT didn't even matter. I mean, these runners within 2 seconds, they're craft the FNS at the same time. Dwoh entering the nether second because of the FNS craft. Wow. I think he had the obby down first, but not the FNS craft. And they're in the nether within a couple seconds. And right now, these couple of seconds don't matter. But if you're entering the end a couple seconds faster and it's zeroable, that could matter. So could spiral. But obviously, there's still so much seed left to play. It's a good storyline though. Good script writers there getting them in at about the same time, even though the overall are pretty different. Good. Shout outs to the seed builders on this one as well for beaching that shipwreck for us. It's an interesting food situation for both runners too. I'm not entirely sure what's in kW1st's inventory food-wise, but Dwoh's got some carrots, some apples, and some bread, so it should be all good. And this does look like bridge, so you have the gold to make those golden carrots for sure. Oh. I just look at kW1st and I only see 3 bread. Oh, Dwoh's got a... Oh,
yeah, I
wow.
saw that one coming.
And...
yeah.
Wow.
So sort of like a flip situation here. Can Dwoh bring it back?
I mean, it's a little rough on kW1st's screen. He didn't have 2 mega hoglins. And I don't really hate the decision there to push through the KB on both of them.
Oh my god.
No, what's happening? What's happening?
kW1st just died.
I know. What's happening?
I think he he got killed by a
What
zombified
the
piglin, so he
fuck?
must have aggroed.
I think he
Why?
FNS'd the
TNT.
TNT and then he.
Oh no.
Well, it's even. They
So
don't know it, but
dumb.
it's even. And if they're smart enough, they will know it because both of them got in the bastion, and it's gonna be like 3 minutes before the other person gets war pigs. They're gonna know it. So
That is crazy.
we'll see. I mean, yeah, wow. And it was like for 5 seconds there, looking like Quiz was just gonna easily take the 2-0 because he clawed back all this time in seed 1, has 2 minutes
Yeah.
back in seed 2. Couple people in chat correcting me that Quiz got war pigs. So who knows, right? Like there is a lot of metagaming that you get with the advancements that show up. I don't think they're gonna get the crying obby advancement for a while. Maybe that's one that neither of them will get. But I mean, they're both bouncing back pretty well. I mean, it looks like similar overworld speeds. Quiz did die a few seconds later, and again, they do get to speed through this overworld when you're not trying to gather all the info around you. Like they know where the flint is. They know that there's just
Right.
a random shipwreck. They know it's Tanabe, stuff like that. Chat, we're fixing the audio. Give us a second. Not a big deal at all. No big dealio, but of course building with mossy cobble. I thought it was like, it looked over for a second. It looked like jungle temple, but he blew up a house there. Dwoh's back. Has 2 big hoglins
Oh my
again.
God.
Rematch.
Oh my God.
Rematch.
Oh my God.
He won the rematch. 1-1.
He's-
Surely we have another bridge. We'll get to see a third match between Dwoh and the Piglins. I mean, maybe a better storyline here than even the seed itself. I mean, was able to push
I
through there
agree. I
and
agree with that.
got low, but got the job done. Like, and
Yeah.
that's what matters, right? He's
Yeah.
alive. And is this our best of 3 rematch right now? The run back, and it's handled. I think Dwoh takes a clean 2-1 there.
I agree that. I would agree with that.
I-
You know, Dwoh, I mean, we'll have to see if there's any more hoglins to be had in these next few seeds, but at the end of the day, I mean, there have been 3 battles and Dwoh's won 2. Oh my God.
Where's the
But now the
Piglin
Piglin
battle? Oh for 2 potentially, but it looks like he's good.
He's okay.
Wow, man, what a bridge. I mean, what a storyline too on this seed, like just in general, like how both of these runners just throwing back the time save and time loss, and they're just in the same spot. They're just together. I mean, man, like it's good content that they're close. It's like it's interesting in its own right to watch a blowout because the person ahead can obviously always still mess up, but it's definitely more interesting when they're throwing the time loss back and forth, time save back and forth. And it looks like they have to Pyre here. And it's kind of in a wall. Maybe you just leave the Bastion the same way you get in. Ranked is supposed to check for terrain in between the structures, and these seeds were manually checked as well. Yeah, it looks like this terrain's just right here. Is Dwoh just leaving? What's the pearl count looking like? 11 only. Does he know? That's a very aggressive multi-distance pearl hang. I'm not sure if I completely like the idea, but if he's got low pigs, it's not the worst case scenario, especially when you have to trade as much gold in the bridge bastion. Like bridge is the bastion. I mean, there's literally Miracle Route was developed as like the most insane pearl hang for the bridge bastion. Like it's just in its design. There's so much gold, and sometimes there's so little pigs. And so I don't know if that was necessarily the right or wrong decision. Might not have mattered that much, but it maybe was right because he's still sitting on 10 pearls.
Oh.
After doing all of that. So these trades are slow.
Right.
Still 10 pearls. And they're running out of gold to trade. I mean,
Well, he
ranked
just crafted a golden apple. I don't know if I agree with that decision. Maybe
it's like your
there's more
16th gold block.
Oh,
Oh,
there
my
we
god,
go,
there's like
okay. Well, still
plus
only 19 obby though.
16. Is it 19? You can
Yep.
get backups, you can get double backups, you can get triple backups. But again, if the backup doesn't hit, and I mean it could be that literal 1 gold difference. And Dwoh, I think, also might have made another pressure plate in the overworld. Is that going to be his 20th? 19 still. I think Dwoh maybe. Oh, there's the 20th. Okay, so it's savable. Not gonna hurt him this time, but it was close. It was very, very close. And I think he's got a better Pearl Hang than Quist does. I have to imagine. I didn't see Quist run for some multi-disc, right? Like, he's got a Pearl Hung, but I think it's just in the Soul Sand. Yeah, so Dwoh's play actually worked out in some weird twist of events. That was like a very nice situation for the multi-disc Pearl Hang. And he's found better terrain to the fort somehow. It looks like Quist, I mean, he's on some like Quake Pro Soul Speed FOV. Very relatable, at least from my point of view, playing on Quake Pro. But Dwoh, just, it looked like the turn was very open, and maybe Quist is going the wrong way. Again, I'm not entirely sure. I mean, we saw it happen last week, and hopefully not again. Is part of it the mental too from dying? But you know you're not behind that much because Dwoh just got into the fort, and yeah, he's pyring again. I think he just went way too far left, and it was just a little bit straight into the right. And again, chat, Quist is lagging for us too. He told us earlier that it's an internet thing, internet provider thing. The stream is still watchable. So hopefully it just gets better. But we are aware there's nothing we can do. Big internet conspiring against us. Big Hoglin conspiring against us.
I don't know. I feel like Dwoh eliminated the Hoglin. I think I think it's no
It's
longer. There's no more conspiracy left.
until we get another bridge in C3.
True.
Surely. But Quest did find the fort, so not insanely behind. Maybe a minute. Got to the spawner pretty quickly. Dwoh was in the fort for a little bit before getting to the spawner.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Let's look at the explosive situation here. 6 beds for Dwoh. I can't tell if there's anchors. It is 0 ball off 6 beds. Could also have a yellow bed from the village house. It's very possible that it's 0 ball and definitely has the pearls. A little low on food, which is interesting. I mean, he's got a gap. He's got 1 more golden carrot, and there's some rotten flesh. So you can eat the gap before you have to 0, and it's usually just fine.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll see. 3 rods. Again, they're playing the same spawner. New rank change as of... Oh my god, he's getting beat.
Okay.
And that's not great for the food situation, especially when you open your inventory and both the fire res are like drinkable. So you can't even just like insta throw it down. You just have to sit there. But it is what it is. 4 rods. And like I was saying before Dwoh almost died, spawners are now completely standardized in the sense that if you have the same blocks cleared out and the same light level as the other player, like no fire anywhere or lava anywhere or anything like that, you will get the same exact spawns at the same exact time. So assuming Dwoh blaze bedded correctly, which I mean it looked like he did, and put out the fire and everything, Quist won't be able to make any time back from better blaze spawns. It has to be all mechanical. It has to be measuring these eyes, getting to second portal, hitting that preemptive, hitting that 0. There's no time to be made back in the stronghold, and that's like 200 blocks for Dwoh. It looks like. I mean, quality again is not amazing, and he's throwing a 3rd eye.
Is this a
Maybe
third
some
or a
desync.
fourth?
I think it's his 4th because 1 like went into the tree,
Yeah.
but like 3rd measured eye.
Yeah.
But I don't think his offset changed, right? He had 100% last time and he missed because of a miss measure. That's the only way you can miss off a 100% Nimbot measure. And classic no mic mouse shake. Not happy about throwing 4 eyes. But
Meanwhile, it
what
looks
can
like
you
Quist is
do?
just gonna go with 1.
Yeah, says 100%. Looks like it's. I mean, look, they blinded at the same spot. Looks like it's probably the same offset. But again,
That's
I can't
crazy.
entirely tell.
So much time made up there for Quist, right
And
there.
is he just going? Does he have 8 plus 2 rods? He has 8 plus 2 rods. He's made up all the time.
Yeah,
Dwoh's getting a pearl hangout and Quist is going.
crazy stuff.
And
That was
the 1 eye didn't break. It must have been the 2nd or the 3rd or the 4th.
right.
So a little bit of an advantage there. I mean, not only the fact that you don't have to throw 3 eyes, but or 4 eyes. You're saving on 3 eye throws, but you're also saving on the eye break, and Dwo's got 11 eyes right now. He could leave, but he can't because apparently in chat people are saying the third eye broke. So it was an entire, just even throwing 2 eyes, it was the misplay, and Quist is in the stronghold. This is looking like potentially a 2-0.
Wow. I mean, not good, I think, for Dwoh as far as the mental. I worry. And obviously, I don't know Dwoh personally. I don't know what they're thinking, but what I can say is that if I was in this situation, it would be frustrating because not only did you lose the first match to a miss, but now you're dying in the second match. I don't know. I feel like this whole match, Dwoh.
It's in the stronghold though.
Okay, well, here,
He's even
here I am.
talking. I
I
mean,
guess I
and
come to his girth.
Quist has been in here for a while, but he's back at starter. And it looks like Duo's making the same nav decisions that Quist was. If you've been in the stronghold for a while, you obviously like have just seen more of it. So you know where you don't have to go. But if the other person just one-shots it, like you're behind. And Quist is not doing a lot of that one-shotting. So I mean, neither is Dwoh. It really isn't anyone's game, and he's found it through the ravine. It looks like maybe. I wasn't 100% watching, but I saw he was in a ravine. I saw he was in a ravine, and then I looked over, and then he was in the portal room. So he's found it. True. Shows a Faro for Faro's Law. And are we going to see the 0? Very open. Front looks incredibly doable. 1 and 8 though. And he's not. Oh, he is. Okay. Say maybe throw 3 pros there sometimes. And why 77? And he's not going for it. Dwoh, I've heard. Skeleton in the lava. Oh my god. Holy. Oh my god. Bad. Is it gonna put him in the hole? It's all good though. Okay. Oh my god. Skeleton lava. Oh my god. You left the bed. Is it gonna matter? I don't even know. You just don't die. Oh my god. Quist getting a perch. We get the stream and then we get 3 seconds of lag. He's not getting the perch. Again, winnable from Dwoh, but he's got to find the portal room. It doesn't look like an impossible 0. Is he getting food? 3 bread. That's actually not bad. Lost a bed. I don't know the anchor situation either, and especially on a 1 and 8, it's a little weird sometimes on the heights. No perch from Quist, and no half bow. So we could be here for 3 minutes. Dwoh does have to find the portal room eventually, but preemptive gets so hard when you have so many mobs. Maybe he heard it. I don't know.
Oh, yep, there we go.
He heard it.
Right up into it. Now,
what's the anchor situation looking like? I know. I mean, you kind of have to, but there's no prep. Is it like? It is no prep 0. Okay. He's got 4 anchors. Hittable. I mean, you have to go for it. 81, 82, 88 potentially. 6, 7, 8, 92. 5, 4, 3, 2, go. 2 out. 1 up. Gets there. Bed. Gets there. Good damage. He's got the anchors. Does he even need the anchors? Is this just a 5 bid? Did he bring it back? Oh, he needs 1 anchor, but it's like 1 HP.
Wow.
Pro clutch. Smart too. Maybe watch Priffin's game.
Yeah.
Like,
wow.
What happened to Priffin? What a comeback. I mean, that was a very textbook 1 and 8. And dude, what a match. I mean, it's a game technically. What a game. What a match. Wow. 17 minutes. I mean, it's pretty apparent they both did die.
Yes.
And Dwoh was in the stronghold for 3 to 4 minutes, but fought through the mental and brought it back. And like game 1, we said was very good for Quist's mental, but I think game 2 could not have possibly been worse for the mental. I mean, maybe if you died 5 times in a row to like thunder in the overworld and getting
Yeah.
struck by lightning or something. I don't know. But like you die, you come back, you're in the lead for the rest of the seed.
Yep.
You're in the end a minute faster, almost 2 minutes. And then it's over. Because you whiff
Yeah.
the zero. Just like, and it, I think like, I don't know if it was just he didn't want to go for it or whatever, but it didn't look terrible to me. Like Dwoh threw a similar low pearl and staircased up enough. You have a lot of time. Maybe Quist didn't like the blocks he had, but he like prepped his hotbar also. Like Dwoh sent that setup bliss, prepped the hotbar in between the pearls. And especially on front 1-8, you don't have a lot of time to do that. You basically have one pearl because you're block clutching pretty quickly on the second one. Like, it's a great comeback, especially hitting that like mechanically hard. It's 1-8, it's setupless. It's not like insanely hard as kind of what we thought it was maybe last year. There's a ton of practice tools out, but it's definitely harder to do a setupless 1-8 0 than it is to like front cage or like do a 2x1 or do a bastion route. Like it's still a very hard part of the speed run. And so being able to clutch from behind like that gets your mental in a good spot. Again, you were behind. They both did die. So I don't know. What do you think, Nerdy? What do you think for this game 3? Think if we throw it over to our seed selection, we can talk while we're there and maybe I think it's going to be buried treasure, which is exciting.
You're right.
But
Yeah, I mean,
what do
I
you
don't know.
think about this game 3?
I've been going back and forth. I feel like that game, there's just a lot of mistakes, to be honest. Like just to put it bluntly, there's just a lot of mistakes from both sides. I mean, obviously 2 deaths right at the beginning, but you know, Dwoh, mismeasuring eyes, Quist. Well, I guess now that I'm thinking about it, Quist didn't make too many mistakes, but it's I guess like, you know, not going for the 0, I feel like is just a really or missing the 0. It's not ideal. It's not ideal like you said. It's bad for the mental. Even though he did do well throughout the seed, he didn't mismeasure eyes and he caught up and all that good stuff. Um, I still feel like there's just a lot of mistakes overall throughout both, and it's not easy for me to point to a single thing and say this is what made the match end this way. You know, there's a lot of things adding up, and I think that all those mistakes adding up, I want to see these mistakes ironed out. Is what I'm trying to get at, and I'm hoping that both runners can iron them out, and hopefully we'll see sort of a more clean game 3 and 4 and 5.
Yeah, I think, I mean, we'll see here again, like we said, it was buried treasure. I think what you said is basically just right. Like, we haven't really seen either runner play a perfect game, right? Yet. And I don't know, again, is it nerves? You're the first match of the quarterfinals day. I know both of these runners are on like very different time zones, so maybe the time that they're playing the match is a little bit awkward. I mean, maybe you just slept wrong or you ate like the wrong food or something. There's a lot of minuscule things that can add up, but I know both of these players can play lights out, can play perfectly. I've seen it in tournaments. I've seen it playing against both of these players on the ranked ladder. And I know they can play perfectly, and I hope we get to see that from both players. We do have a little bit of a break before our match 3, trying to figure out some technical stuff for just a minute. I think it'll be quick enough that we can just stall here.
Yeah, I mean, I, I'm excited. I think these players both show a lot of skill. I think, like I said, I think Quist ignoring the death and ignoring the choice not to go, like I guess before entering the end, that was a pretty clean seed played. Um, so there's obviously my point is there's skill there. There is skill there, and I feel like just ironing out the mistakes is very doable. Dwoh, of course, as well, hitting the 0, going for all these, like Dwoh also showing a lot of promise. So to me, both runners are definitely talented and clearly are very, very practiced. I think it's just turning nerves. I really do. Maybe I'm wrong, but it was like the first frame we saw in the Ruined Portal seed, or not the first frame, but the first uh, inventory open. I saw nerves. Like I instantly saw people clicking out of chests uh, too early, and I guess all what I'm trying to say is I think it's really challenging, even if you are a good player, um, to try and manage those nerves in these higher settings, higher stake settings than normal. Most ranks matches are just much less. It's much less going on. It's just elo on the line, whereas this is your sort of entire season on the line, if you will.
Yeah, I think, and before we get into our seed 3, match 3, gonna put one of these runners up 2-1 on match point. A couple people in chat are wondering what happens for seed 4 and 5, because we are getting a seed 4, right? What seeds are they playing? The way it works is once we use the entire seed pool, so to speak, so all 5 seed types have been played, the loser still gets to pick, and they get to pick from any of the 5 seed types again. It's kind of like it just refreshes. So they can pick any of the 3 that they've played already, or one of the 2 banned seeds, but they can't pick the same seed for game 4 and game 5. It kind of like refreshes the pool of 5 seeds, and then they get sort of eaten up again. So you can't see a seed type more than 2 times, but we can potentially see the banned seeds happen in our game 4 and 5. So anyways, we've been waffling a little bit too much. We're ready to start the game. See this game 3. I'm ready to see some perfect Minecraft nerdy. I think the nerves might be shaken
I'm more
off.
ready.
They've both won 1 seed, right? So you have some mental like that you can do it, right? And again, if you're up 1-0, you lose 1 seed. Now it's 1-1. It's weird. You're down 0-1, you win a seed. You're up 1-1. Maybe that's better mental, but we'll just have to see. I hope we just see some neck and neck. I mean, that last seed was neck and neck, but for a little bit of the wrong reasons, right? 2 deaths at
Yeah.
basically the same time. We can do the last seed, but just without the deaths. I mean, again, both of these runners can make it happen. We just have to see them execute.
Very, very similar lines so far, of course, with the buried treasure. No misses, so that's good.
True. Both of them find it, and again, it's just going to come down to crafting speed, and I mean, it's just the small mechanics, and like you said, it's maybe favoring our any percent players that do this all the time,
Right.
as opposed to ranked where you still do get BTCs very often, but it maybe is not as much as when it's just all you're playing for. But
Well,
looks
it's
like
all
this
you're
would
playing
be.
for, but
Go ahead,
also
sir.
you're playing so many overworlds, and you're not necessarily playing a ton of nethers in RSG. Whereas in ranked, you
Oh,
have to
that's
play the
true.
entire seed, right? So you just go through so many more. Is what I was trying to get at with the RSG thing.
Shout outs to both these players too, doing an L portal. Love to see it. 2x1 enjoyers in
Um,
shambles right now.
I like 2x1s. I like when people do that. Even though I'm not the best at them, I think that they're based. That's my
Do you
take.
know? Do you know the 2x1 like the better setup, or do you do the one that I do?
Um,
Do you know even?
I do one that people have told me is like a little risky, and I don't get it every time because I'm rusty, but I don't remember which one. Silver
Your
Carpet.
2x1 might be better than mine. That's all I'm saying. It's like a pride thing for me at this point. Like not like maybe pride's not the right word, but it's like I'm sticking it to society, right? Like,
Well, what is the record for 2x1? What is the fastest?
oh,
No,
Quist is maybe dead. Quist may be dead. Block.
no, he's died.
No corner
Insane
hit. He's
stuff.
good. Wow, what
Insane
a
stuff.
save. No gold on the bar, and he gets it done. Wow. I know actually Dougal got a 3.95 on a like weird Evan K variation of the 2x1. It's like a double cobble skip gravel mine. You put a door in the portal. If you couldn't follow that, it's okay. I can't either. I was just so it's all good. I have no idea what I even just said.
Hey,
But I
it's
got
okay.
3.95, and I think that's the fastest 2x1. I think it's faster than the other method. But yeah, I don't know how to do a 2x1. I
It's
think my
okay.
fastest L is
It's
like
okay.
7, maybe I6. We get it done. Like I said, it's like I'm sticking it to society. But also, Quist may be dead again. Doing a little bit too much waffling for the severity of the situation here, but you do have BT food. They got 3 salmon as well as 3 or 4 cod, so it's very chill, for lack of a better word, to take this damage. Won't matter that much as opposed to a Rune Portal Seed, but it could matter in the long run if Quist has to hunger reset in the portal room or hunger reset in the overworld and Dwoh doesn't. Food management is big.
Okay. Also, I have an update.
What's the update?
It's definitely not faster than yours, but my 2x1 record is 6.9.
Oh, you pulled up the practice map? See, that's I don't even have a practice map to pull up. I don't know what that says really. But I couldn't even
Yeah.
tell you if I have it on an instance. I don't even know.
But it's okay. It's okay. We'll forgive.
And Chris is dead. I
Was
just
that
threw
just
a bad pearl.
I
Yeah,
think he
and
threw a pearl.
it's in a retrievable spot. He hasn't reset the seed. I saw him die. I saw him nail the ground, and I saw his stuff go in not lava. So I think he's gonna run back and get his stuff.
Okay. I mean, it's not, I guess, the end of the world, right? It's not like a full reset.
Yeah, but Dwoh's in the fort. I mean, we've seen
Well, yes,
these
I'm
players
just-
throw it back and forth, but you're right. It's not
Yeah.
a 4-minute mistake, hopefully.
Exactly. That's what I mean. That's what I mean. It's not a 4-minute mistake. It's like a 1 minute 30 mistake if he's fast, I think.
Could be under a minute. I don't know exactly where he died compared to his stuff. Is that his stuff right there?
There it is.
Okay,
Yeah, okay. That was super. Yeah, it's like a
he's chilled.
45
He's
second
chilled.
mistake.
Yeah, that was like a minute. And it doesn't look like you lost anything. And maybe nerdy, it was a hunger reset because he was low on
True.
food.
Actually insane stuff.
I really don't think so. But we saw Dougal with an extended hunger reset on the last
Oh
week.
my
Remember,
god, I remember. That was
flipped his
fantastic.
feet in the
That was
lava a little
fantastic.
bit and had a little bit of a delayed hunger reset. So maybe these runners are inventing the meta that we are blind to. I don't know. But he's behind. Also, again, has to Pearl hang to home portal. I think Quist is not like getting the backup blocks potentially from housing or not getting all the chests because Dwoh's got 23 obby and Quist is Pearl hanging to home portal. And he didn't lose any obby from dying. So I don't know if it's some difference in the routing because it also happened in Seed 1 on a housing where Quist played home portal, Dwoh blinded, and got or first portal, I should say, and had 700 distance. Didn't end up actually mattering in that seed because Dwoh missed the stronghold, but it is almost always better to be able to do 2 portals and blind at your spawner or your rods instead of doing 1 portal. In very fringe cases, you get like 2,500 block blind when it's like 1,800 home portal and your terrain is worse.
Quist just failed the speed bridge
Oh.
while he was building out of the spawner.
No, man. And I mean, I think stuff burned. He's gonna run back, or did he fully reset? He fully reset. Okay.
Oh wow. That is
Looks like the mistakes
Oh my
were
God.
not ironed out. Dwoh's got fire res. I know, nerdy. We can maybe we can breathe. Maybe we can breathe. I know.
I'm
Maybe.
just, just watched like 2 deaths already. I'm ready. I'm ready for the next one, You're right. He has fire res. I should have not been afraid.
I mean, this is fast though from Dwoh. This is going to be a 7-minute stronghold though. Like, if anything, it's maybe better for Quist that Dwoh just like nails this seed down because like maybe you were dead past the first, or like maybe you were already losing because of the first death. Maybe you're already losing even without the first death if Dwoh cranks out like a 9-minute time, and it gives you less time to sit here and be like, I'm losing. Why am I playing? I'm losing. And if this was ranked, I would just forfeit, but I'm losing because it's playoffs and I don't want to forfeit. Like, Mineshaft starter. Stronghold. Okay, we didn't miss. W. But it's going to be weird preemptive. Don't see the strong or the portal room in the ravine. We'll see. Wrong pot chart. All good though. He's got about 6 to 7 minutes to play within the stronghold here. So I think we're chill. But this match has proven to us that we are anything but chill, regardless of the split we are in. And we're not going to see a 0 setup here. He's just got no health. So he's not going to go for it. But Nerdy, I think that's fine because kW1st hasn't even blinded yet.
Isn't
So you're metagaming off of that, right? That like
it's not
it's
not
just
good.
chill. And he's got wood. Yeah, it's I mean, I don't know, chat. I don't know why Dwoh's shaking. You can ask him if you have a mind reader. Maybe he wanted to go for 0 or something, or I have no idea. Could be nerves, but it looked like an intentional shake, you know? Like that OMG kind of shake, like when you have your mic off and you're streaming and you see the portal room exposed or something. So, I don't know. Or it's some movement tech we don't know about. No idea.
True. Yeah, I think all eyes here on kW1st. It's there's basically nothing. Even a task could not keep up to
No, a task could
Dwoh at
keep
this
up.
point.
Maybe not
What?
if he gets
He
maybe
catch
not
up
if
lane?
he like gets the snap. Okay, maybe I'm wrong. All I'm saying is there's this guy's channel, I think it's like default by the way or something, or like X default. And I don't like watch the videos because to me they're like all the same, but I guess that's the same with like regular runs too. But I don't even really watch regular runs anymore, so whatever. I digress. All his videos are like beating Rouse PBC or like tasking Rouse PBC, tasking Miguel's PBC, tasking the world record, and they're always like 2 minutes on these
Okay.
7-minute runs.
I misspoke. I'm sorry.
If you're pulling out all the stops, like task can get a lot done.
Okay.
You can spawn
I'm
Enderman wherever, you spawn Blazes
uninformed,
wherever.
nerdy.
Pearl hang, portal room blind, 30-second 0, one shot nowadays. Like, I don't know, man. But maybe with the snap coming from kW1st or from Dwoh, the task really couldn't catch up. But I haven't been confident saying that these seeds were over, but I think I'm now confident that Dwoh won't mess up the 1 cycle. Surely. Nice
And
5
there it
bed.
is.
And not the sub 9 that it potentially looked out not looked out to be, but you know what I mean. Still a respectable time.
It could have been.
Could have been faster too with 0, but I do like the decision to just play 100% safe.
Right.
Because your opponent hasn't even started measuring eyes. So it's going to be a 2-1 up for Dwoh. We're going to get into a seed 4 shortly, and these runners do get to pick between any of the seeds available. So we will see what they pick. We'll give them time to think about it because there are 5 options. And if you give me just a second, we might have. Let me see. Yes, we do have our tried and true Fulham mid-game analysis segment. We're going to have these for all the quarterfinals, semifinals, and finals matches when a runner gets to match point. So because Dwoh is up 2-1, potentially only 1 seed left, we're going to throw it over to Fulham with our mid-match analysis. To you guys ready for our game 4?
Thank you guys very much for that beautiful introduction. Yes, we are at match point. Dwoh is 2-1 up, and we're going to take a quick look through those first few seeds in case you guys may have missed anything for the for the first few seeds. We're going to go all the way back, and we are going to see kW1st's death in slightly higher quality here. We can see that he's entering the Bastion. I believe he enters the Bastion first, around about 10 seconds ahead of his opponent here. Goes down to attempt to do this manhunt in housing. Notices a piglin behind him, is potentially a little bit scared of this, so makes the jump here and just slips off. And now I don't speak much Russian, but I don't think that he was particularly happy with that turn of events right there. We can see next up, we then have Dwoh, who was seemingly struggling with a lot of food. You can see only one chicken remaining in this slot in his hotbar down here. Definitely not enough for the rest of the run, and we're going to see him hunger reset quite frequently throughout this seed. We actually see him hunger reset already for the second time right here and right now. This was where I believe that Dwoh started to lose his time back towards kW1st. So, of course, kW1st took that 2-minute time loss early on in the run, but was kind of able to claw things back, especially due to how he left the Bastion earlier, much earlier than Dwoh did. Dwoh got all of the backup blocks, got all of the top chests. kW1st did a much faster route, ending with 16 obsidian, as you can see in his hotbar down here. But because of this, it forced him to go back to home portal, which we're going to see now. But he had a absolutely fantastic pearl hang. Lucky to not die there, but was able to then just throw one extra pearl, get back into the overworld, and I believe he was able to hunger reset in that overworld as well, and if there was any animals, he was able to grab them, and that really allowed him to have an advantage heading towards the end of the seed. But then we saw what caused an arguably sad upset for Dwoh here, going to his second portal towards, but not hitting the stronghold. As we can see, as far as I can tell, all of the location was correct. We can see in the top right up here, he does pull up his Ninja Brain bot, and we can see the 100% was indeed 160 and 2612, which is exactly where he is standing. So we believe it may potentially have been deeper, or it may have been an offset. This first error looks remarkably large. Definitely could have been a problem with that first throw, maybe a little bit of offset from that. So if we actually go back to now, of course, Dwoh was able to, did end up losing that first seed, even with kW1st dying. kW1st was able to enter the end and finish off the dragon very easily. You can see that kW1st there getting the advancement of I Spy. Moving on into the second seed now, Dwoh takes the first death on this seed after grabbing some gold boots, placing them on, and then facing this 1v2 with these hoglins on the bridge. Drops down here, takes a little bit of damage, notices 2 hoglins, tries to run through, which is arguably the correct play, in my opinion. I don't think that's always wrong. When you're faced with these hoglins, each hoglin has a cooldown period of after it hits you, it can't hit you again for the next maybe 2 or 3 seconds, allowing you to usually cross one out and run directly past. On this occasion, though, the hoglin attacks were perfectly separated, and you can hear that from the audio right here. If I crank this audio to the max, we should be able to hear exactly the difference between these 2 hoglin attack sounds. You can hear that it goes, one hoglin hits him, then as soon as he runs past it, the other hoglin hits him straight away afterwards, meaning that no matter what he could have done there, those 2 hoglins were tag teaming this guy to make sure that he could not get past, and sadly, he does die and burn in lava. But not to worry, because we actually see that kW1st struggled in this spot as well with this TNT chalice, getting TNT from the overworld shipwreck, taking a couple of steps back to make sure he doesn't die here, and sadly using that flint and steel and somehow making a path up to allow these piglins to get up to him. Not only the piglins, but the zombie piglins, which was what was more important here. These pigs were distracted by the gold, that's absolutely fine, but of course the zombie pigs were angry and would not stop beating his ass. And again, I don't speak that much Russian, but from what I know, that was not quite the happiest reaction. So, as you may have seen there, as I tabbed over, this is what I have referred to as the Swag MF Multi-Distance Pearl Hang Seed 2.mp4. And this is from Dwoh here, heading down from the bridge with only 11 pearls, heading towards the location of the fortress, throws one pearl, and then throws a second pearl here, and runs away. As we can see, while he's doing this, he turns his render distance down. That means that the pearl that he's thrown in this direction is now unloaded because he's not rendered it in, only rendering in a small location. While he walks back to the bridge, he can then increase his render distance slightly, but this pearl over here is still not loaded, basically teleporting him from one side of the nether all the way to the other. And this really, really allowed him to have that impact to get into the fortress much, much faster than kW1st in this location. He was able to get into the fortress around about a minute earlier, really allowing him to take advantage of this seed. And Dwoh was definitely ahead at this point. But after getting to the fortress, we saw that Dwoh threw 4 eyes total. The first one going into a tree, the second one causing him, a little bit of troubles. But the third one here, we can notice, does snap, as we can see in just the background up here. Can I pause it at the perfect frame? Let's see. First one did, in fact, break. I can't pause it at the perfect frame, and I'm not going to put you through that turmoil. You did see it. It snapped, and he's going to throw what is his 4th eye and his 3rd measured eye. And I'm going to assume this is because of the mismeasure on Seed 1, missing that stronghold, potentially getting a little bit of nerves coming through here, especially for the fact that we have 100%, but we have these quite high error values down here of 0.035 and 0.026. These error values are quite high, but because the stronghold is so close, you're able to have those high errors and still get 100% accuracy. And as we see, even with this third eye measurement and 4th eye throw, nothing changes on the offset. But this second overworld does cause Dwoh to slow down a lot. And we saw that when he slowed down in the fortress in seed number 1, where he had to hunger reset to play a little bit safer. And we're seeing this again in seed number 2, where he plays safer once again to have to throw 4 separate eyes. And because of this, kW1st was actually able to enter the stronghold first. And have a look at this. Of course, we're experiencing some lag on kW1st's stream, but you guys may not even spot this here because of the small bitrate issues and because of the lag that we're experiencing here. In this location, and it's very small, kW1st spots the tiniest outlet of stronghold blocks into this ravine. And as we all know, Fyro's law, this is one of the laws that say when cave air does not overwrite portal room stronghold blocks. So you can see down here at the bottom of this ravine here, we can see some messed up stronghold. We see some, we see blocks discarded, some air blocks overwritten, and that means that the cave has actually infested into the stronghold. But for every room of the stronghold, that is completely fine, and that happens. But for the portal room alone, that does not occur. And we can see when this pearl lands here, as long as it doesn't lag, this is what was seen by kW1st here. And that is an insanely specific and insanely amazing vision to be able to spot this in the ravine. Notice that these blocks should usually be overwritten, so he knows by that and that alone, this is the portal room. And when we see he digs in through the side here and is able to enter the end first. And that's just an amazing, amazing play just to allow him to take this lead. However, even after this lead, Dwoh enters the end second, around about a minute and 30 seconds behind, but goes for what is an audacious 1 in 8 0 cycle, which is not a particularly comfortable thing. Takes only 2 pearls, digs up, hits this speed bridge on the 1 in 8, cranks up to, I believe it was, 94? Okay, no, we go at 90 here, and we're going to see just a fantastic 0 cycle. Really clean, gets there in time, and is able to deal so much damage to this dragon. Really, really clean. I think it was 5 beds and like a slither of health left. And we can see after this 5th bed, The dragon is almost dead, but does have to deal a 6th explosive here. We can basically count it as a 5+1, but he does place this anchor and comfortably finish off the 2nd seed. And as you can see, at the very end of this seed right here, as soon as this 1 in 8 dragon is done, Dwoh goes and pearls down to the floor. This was actually picked up on by Feinberg and potentially was seen by last week, where we saw Priffin versus Dwoh, whereby Priffin was able to also complete a 1 in 8 dragon 0 cycle setup, but sadly, by the end of this, even though he took out the dragon, doesn't instantly pearl to the floor, and sadly was hit by the dragon, causing him to take damage and fall and die. So potentially, Dwoh maybe went back and looked at the previous mistakes, not only from himself, but from the other runners, which was, I think, is just a really, really good way to learn. And we saw that he was able to take that first seed. In seed number 3, to make it 2-1, we saw that kW1st took a death, or as we like to call it in the industry, an extended hunger reset here. With this pearl back towards the fortress, heading towards this fortress now, throws this pearl, and I believe he hits the ceiling, causing him to fall and sadly die. It was a really unlucky piece of terrain generation right here, as we can see. Hits that ceiling, could pearl into the ground, pearls forwards to try and save himself, but is unable to, and goes for the hunger reset. Little bit frustrating, stares at the camera in disgust, and then looks back. kW1st sadly then took a 2nd death in this seed due to speed bridging, and I believe this could be because he didn't place on the Wither Skull on his head. Now, we all know that the Wither Skull on your head increases your luck by 1,000%, and sadly, because of that, we saw the exact opposite occur. After he does this Blaze TNT here to open up this spawner slightly more, tries to crank backwards, and unfortunately, using the coarse dirt, Little Ghast Spawn hits the return to sender, but fails the speed bridge and falls, and lots of stuff does end up sadly burning. Dwoh was able to take that seed, and I believe that is all we have. This is now seed number 4. Dwoh is 2-1 up, and I'm so excited to see what is going to happen in this one. I'm going to throw you guys back over to Feinberg and Nerdy to give you this match point analysis. So, best of luck to both of these runners. Dwoh on match point here. Can he finish this off?
Amazing stuff from Fulham. Feinberg's muted again. Guys, I swear.
Dude.
Guys, I swear it's not a bit.
I'm not even doing it on
bit.
purpose either. It's it's not a bit.
Anyways.
I'll
So,
do it next time.
how you feeling, Feinberg?
I mean, it was good to see the recaps, to see what both the runners could do better again. And I mean, we wanted to see some perfect Minecraft in the last seed, and Dwoh got us close to that. Didn't go for the 0, but there wasn't really any major mistakes in seed 3 apart from that. And I mean, hopefully kW1st can bounce back from these deaths. I mean, died in two-thirds of the seeds. Died in every seed, actually, right? I think kW1st has died in all 3 seeds.
Yeah.
I think he died, died in the first one, came back and won. Both of them died in the second one. Died in the third one as well. I mean, has to shake something out of the mental. Then maybe if he doesn't die, it's just game over. But here's our 4th pick, Desert Temple. Wow. I mean, it is kW1st's pick. Dwoh did ban Desert Temple.
Yeah,
So
makes sense.
it does make sense. And I mean, I don't have much more to say about it. It's interesting. Not a seed that we've seen before, one of the banned ones. If we get to the game 5, that'll be interesting to see as well. But I'm ready to get into our game 4. I mean,
yeah, no, this is
potentially, I'm also hopefully ready to get into a game 5 to see kW1st win this seed.
You think kW1st wins this one?
I mean, Dwoh banned Temple for a reason, right? Yeah. So
you think it's already over? Is what you're saying?
I don't think it's already over, but I think he can. If we remember that first seed when kW1st died in the Ruin Portal seed, enter the Nether again with no food, and I think took no unnecessary damage, like not even half of heart of unnecessary damage before getting to the fort. I think Quiz can play really well on low food. So I don't know. I mean, I think he just mentally has to shake off the deaths, and then we could easily see a game 5. So I mean, we'll just
Yeah.
have to see what actually happens. But I mean, they have 2 gaps and 33 flush, so you can easily, you can easily play without getting some like passive mobs for food, because that is something that you want to do a lot in Temple Seeds occasionally, because even though 33 Rotten Flesh is like a lot of just raw food in general, it is really slow. And sometimes like you can't like throw pearls back to back with that amount of that quality of food at all. So
Right.
it's just not possible sometimes. And yeah, look, okay, Quist getting Flint. I was gonna say maybe he was trying to get a fish. Sometimes tactical fishing into Flint and stealing the fish for food is something runners do a lot. Salmon and river would technically be better than cod, but looks like Dwoh is not. I mean, he's got an apple. Like the amount of food they have is fine. Because again, we saw Quist play that first seed basically with no food after dying, so it's fine, but it's not amazing. It doesn't leave a ton of room for mistakes, and it makes a lot of mistakes more punishing. Turns some mistakes that would usually be fine potentially into deaths. So
Yeah,
we
and I
will
think that's
see.
the main thing with Quest, right? I mean, the exception of not going for 0, I suppose. Um, I feel like most of the mistakes from Quest have just been deaths, right? And
Yeah, I mean, death on
yeah,
every single seed. It's just
exactly.
very hard for that to not be a standout point here. There's a bridge. Are we going to see game 4 with the Hoglins? I think there's only one big Hoglin, though. Should be an easy Dwoh victory on this bridge. But we'll see. Can he get to the triple without dying to the Hoglins? And can Quist not die to Zombie Piglin in the bridge? Surely we have a clean bridge. There are 2 Hoglins. Gets past the first one. Oh, almost damageless past the second one. There's actually a third Hoglin on Dwoh's bridge because of this Crimson, but he made it. But maybe lost a little bit of time and gets to the triple at around the same time. And I'm going to force this lower route, mainly just because I think he fell
Right.
and didn't get that bridge down. It really shouldn't matter. I mean, he has a ton of pigs from this Crimson. Quist looks like he has a similar big amount. It is just always nice when there's Crimson Forest terrain to the Bastion, and these extra like stray pigs can kind of just wander on. I mean, Dwoh's had 4 Hoglins in his bridge, and he's got to be a little careful here actually with this Hoglin.
Yeah, what the hell?
Only because it's going to be good for food, and it's not like a negative that this is happening. But if he wants to lava bucket,
Okay.
oh, if he
Doing a
wants
lot
to
of
not
damage.
die, okay, he's good. I was gonna say if he wants to lava bucket or anything like that, the lava could spill down into his top pigs. So
Oh,
it
I think
is
he lost his
weird.
lava bucket in the chest, or he put it in there.
Or put it in his inventory. Maybe I saw he was thinking about it, but didn't end up going for it. Could have lost a lava bucket too. It is not on his hotbar, so
I
I
know.
don't.
I'm pretty sure he put it. No, it's
Oh
not in his
yeah, it's
inventory. It's
not.
in
Yeah,
the
it's
other
not his
chest.
inventory.
I guess
Okay,
he maybe just.
misclicked
I don't
that. I
know.
mean,
I'm not
you
sure if
don't
it
really
was
need it for
intentional.
anything. Like it's not a
It
necessary item.
does. I feel like it's good. I don't know. Maybe.
No, it
Hey,
is good. I mean, it would have made that Hoglin thing better.
yeah,
You would have maybe some cooked pork chop now instead of raw, like 3 raw pork chops. So
yeah.
I don't know. Definitely some silliness in the Bastion, and didn't pick up on this in the over, but Quist has 3 mutton and he just ate 1, so he got 4. So he killed a couple sheep. So his food situation is better. I think the Bastion route has maybe been a bit cleaner, so he could be pulling ahead from being slightly behind in the overworld to pulling ahead in the Nether. It just depends though on who's out of these trades first. Dwo's going for backups. Are the
Yeah,
trades this bad again? I mean, there's 3 backup blocks here.
just for
19
that last
obby is what
obby.
he's going
Yeah.
for. Okay, yeah. I mean, you'll definitely get it out of 27 gold. I think it might even be almost guaranteed because of the ranked mod trades. Oh my god, he had to punch that pig in the hole. So
There's 20.
Quist has 20 as well, a little earlier. And Dwoh's going, but I know Quist had a Pearl hang. I don't think Dwoh does. He's going left with this Pearl. Oh!
Wow, great
Good
clutch there.
clutch. Had some fire res, was probably fine. Didn't look like a scary fall damage situation, but it is still a good clutch. I think he just pearled the wrong way. Yeah, pearled a little bit left, has to go right, but Quist is still in. I guess I thought he had 20 obby and he didn't have 20 obby. I think it was because, yeah, it says he has 20 now. I think I was looking at his nether bricks and his inventory, and he had like 23 at one point, so I thought it was good. But yeah, so Dwoh is ahead, kept his lead somehow. Maybe more pigs, maybe the Hoglin ended up not really mattering because the trades took so long. Either way, that it doesn't, the micro mistakes in the Bastion don't end up mattering really because you're there for so long anyways. That like messing around with the Hoglin, messing around with the triple, stuff like that is just whatever. And he's at the spawner first. No strays, but Quist stray is a skeleton, so it's not really that much of a downside for Dwoh to have no strays here. And the only variation we're going to see other than strays is maybe these runners potentially playing different spawners entirely. Dwoh went to a very exposed, very open higher spawner and has already got the blaze bed cranked, but Quist has 3 to 4 strays over here, which is a spawner cycle. 25 seconds on average between spawner cycles, so it's definitely a time save to get those strays in a vacuum. Now, if you have to deal with other things, if you have to run the wrong direction, I mean, now it's all Wither Skellies, and it looks like he's going to end up at the same spawner that Dwoh's at. So I don't know, probably time neutral here, definitely behind. Because Dwoh's got this blaze bedded spawner out. And it's a little bit of a weird situation a lot too, because strays are better when the rates are good, and just being able to sit at a blaze bedded spawner is better when the rates are bad. But you don't know the rates before you play the seed. So if you play for the strays, you kill 12 stray blazes, takes you like a minute because there's just so many wither skellies and everything. And you have like 2 rods. And you use like food and you use sprint and you're moving around everywhere, versus someone who got the same amount of blaze spawns sitting in a spawner, doesn't have to use any food, no danger whatsoever. It's a very interesting part where runs can diverge, but in this run specifically, it looks like Dwoh is just ahead. Gonna have to throw 2 eyes, doesn't do boat eye. Going pretty far out, so if these eyes are measured correctly, looking for low offsets, looking for 100% on the calc. Got 100%. Is he confident? Doesn't look like he's throwing a 3rd eye. Better eye measuring split from Dwoh in this match compared to others, in this game compared to others. The Quiz is blinding, doing boat eye, so is able to go off of 1, but gets weird offsets, actually can't go off 1. Now, I don't know for sure if these are like 3 strongholds that are like 1 chunk away from each other, but he is throwing a 2nd eye, so doesn't have that boat eye time save. Gonna keep Dwoh more in the lead. Two and a half hearts only.
So a little scary. One
half a heart. Just far skeleton shot. I mean, they're getting. He's like sitting around here, but they're getting closer. Yeah, I would have expected to maybe run farther, but okay. He's chill. Is this gonna spawn him in here? I mean, he built it in with dirt, so it doesn't matter. Okay, cool.
Nice.
But does Quist have 12? Quist has 12. This is giving him space to catch up now, though.
Yeah.
He caught up in the raid somehow. Like maybe the strays were good, and he's got much better food. So even though we had to measure 2 eyes and enter the fort later, so it didn't have the boat eye time save, didn't really have the fort time save. He is like ahead, getting to these chords by what seems like, I mean, looking at their chords right now, they're literally the exact same.
Yeah.
This is very neck and neck, but Quist has this food advantage. I think he's going to be, I wish I knew. No, I do know. Agapo heals 2 hearts of a regen because of UHC. and he gets
Right.
2 absorption hearts, so he's going to be at 8 hearts. Missed. Didn't miss. Dwoh in the same spot. Maybe low, maybe too low in a cave, but Dwoh hits starter.
Nice.
Weird for Quist here now, and burns up Pearl to get the starter. So food situation, again, they're at the same stronghold, but
Oh, and insta-nav. from
wow,
Quist.
so it doesn't even matter. Just is able to boss out on the preemptive. I was just watching Dwoh. I thought he was going to get there first, hit starter instead of just a random cave, but he's in and is going to go for 0. Front looks hittable. Gets the blocks out. 100. Oh my god, it's so tense with the life. Falls. Clutching? Maybe? I don't know.
Okay,
Clutch.
I guess he gets
Clutch. The internet issues working with the script to give us banger content, but Duo's found it.
Here we
It is
go.
a
Now,
hard
Dwoh could just win
0.
this.
He's gonna go for it, but like top 100 is hard. Not something I am personally confident with. And I mean, like literally that half a second on organizing the inventory and that half a second on the Pearl could have been it. And he falls through. Oh my god, they both fell. It's a perch race for Dwoh to take seed 4 or for Quist to send it into a game 5. Complete perch race.
Yes,
Quist giving himself more odds, better odds, I should say, because he's half bowing and choked the 0 first. That's not the perch. In game chat, Dwoh did say fuck, and Quist hit him with a question mark. So there are maybe some mental games here. Is that the perch for Quist? Oh wow. We're gonna see a game 5. Oh wow. Quist typing me too as the dragon's perching. Is he good? Okay, he's good. 5 beds? Yeah, he's good. I only saw 4 on the bar. 6 bed. You know, it
We're going
gets
to game
the
5.
job done. And we're going to a game 5. Wow. I mean, Quist somehow is just making the time back. I don't know where. Like, just the
I think he
fort
was
was
just like not
better.
taking
Like,
damage and stuff. You know what I mean?
yeah, and he got some sheep in the overworld, which was maybe why it was a little slower.
True.
But he's able to use that food, and yeah, didn't have to hunger reset. I mean, Dwoh hunger reset twice. Hunger reset in the Nether and in the Stronghold, because he hunger reset like in the fort as he was leaving, and then threw 3 pearls to get 2 Stronghold cords. So,
Yep.
I mean, we get to see a game 5. And if Quist doesn't make any mistakes, I think he takes game 5, Nerdy. I think he's playing just slightly faster.
I
agree.
And
he didn't die in seed 4.
I see what your line is. The way I see this so far this entire match is it feels like Quist is faster and Dwoh is a little more consistent. That's what it feels like. So
You're
for me, the
100%
question
right.
is isn't, who's going to be faster. It's going to be Quist seems like he is just faster. Is he going to be consistent? If he's not consistent, then Dwoh will win. If he is consistent, then he should win based off the previous patterns that we've seen in the past 4 matches. We'll see. It could go either way, of course. It's definitely not like that Dwoh can't be faster. It's not like Dwoh can't be inconsistent, but the idea is generally this seems to be the case.
Yeah, I mean, the only major decision-making difference again was the food in the overworld. And again, the colors on some of these splits are a little off. If you look at the times, they're correct. We'll try to fix the coloring, the green and the red specifically. But Quist just behind in every split up until finding the stronghold. So it's like getting into the stronghold. So I don't know if it's. I mean, it's got to just be the food. I mean, Dwoh had to take 2 hunger resets and Quist didn't. I mean, it took him so much time to box in that skeleton, craft the anchors, hunger reset, dig himself out of that hole, and then start going back to stronghold cords. It just has to be what it was. And it's just the micro of playing the whole seed just slightly better and getting that food in the overworld that I guess made the difference. And Quist didn't die. Didn't make any big mistakes. So
yeah,
pretty big dub.
Good stuff here.
Buried treasure.
Ah, unfortunate. Hey, we got our shipwreck seed still, kinda, more or less, from that village, so it's okay.
Yeah. I mean, Dwoh won on the buried treasure seed. I think he had a faster overworld on the buried treasure seed as well. So I kind of understand the play, right? It was a seed you were comfortable on. You won that seed comfortably. It was very fast as well. It was in the end at like 8 minutes, just didn't zero because Quist was so far behind that he didn't need to. But I mean, I think I'm ready to get into the game 5, nerdy. I don't have much else to say. I'm ready to see a conclusion to our first quarterfinals match of the day. Again, guys, we still have 3 more full, complete potential best of 5s to
Let's do
play.
this.
I mean, there's already been banger content. It's only game 104. Huge W.
It's interesting because we were talking about how, on average, Quist is faster, it seems like, but his ranked average time is actually slower. I don't know if that's necessarily an indication, but it is something to keep in mind.
Yeah, I mean, it could be something to do with some low sample size, but Dwo's got 75 games, so I don't know. But weird BT Quist finds it. Is it in this chunk here? Yeah, Dwoh should be able to find it as well. So a little behind on the overworld so far on his seed pick. So it really won't matter too much, potentially. We haven't seen any of these seeds come down to just a few seconds. It's been
Yep.
bigger mistakes that have put one runner in the lead or one runner behind by a minute. They've both been in the end at the same time on a couple of them. So it's been possible for it to be close, but not yet seen like 2 perches at the same time or stuff like that. But Quist looks to just be, I mean, the ravine's pretty obvious. I think both runners saw it from the island, just looking for the BT in the first place. So it's just going to be, oh, is this fake though?
There's
Okay.
a 2x1
2x1.
Feinberg.
Scary. Like, he's going to get it done. Oh, never mind. He obbied his 2x1. So he has
Okay, well,
to
well,
find another one and
this could
maybe
actually be
gives
pretty
Dwoh
bad.
a little bit of space to get back. Looks like Dwoh likes the L portals, but might have to force a 2x1, or maybe didn't even craft doors.
Oh no.
Is it
Wait.
nerves maybe too? Like getting like you had game 4, you were close, you fell off the 0 tower. Could have won, could have put it away 3-1. Now it's 2-2.
I think that's totally a thing. I really do. Speaking from experience of having been in
Oh, and
Simply's tournament,
Dwoh
had
messed
a
up
similar
the
feeling.
2x1 also, and Quist is still building a portal as well. Like I'm watching Dwoh mess it up, and I'm assuming Quist is going to be in the Nether, and Quist isn't in the Nether.
Oh
And
no.
Dwoh buckets his portal. Like I don't know, man.
But yeah,
But
oh,
they're both figuring it out. Maybe I mean Quist has to repair 3 things here.
uh,
Is it just like nerves times a million? You think like just
I don't know.
game 5?
I guess, yeah. I don't know. It's
I mean,
hard
I
to
think
say.
Quist has almost spent more time in this magma ravine than he has in the rest of the overworld.
Yeah, yeah.
I think 100%. I think maybe he spent more time like in a portal trying to build one than he did in the rest of the overworld. Like, what does that even do for
Yeah.
your mental? It's not even like one silly mistake. It's like 6 in a row that you just keep like just can't do the portal right over and over and over again. I don't know.
Yeah, and hopefully that will not harm him too much. Yeah, I don't know. The mentals in general, I think, are both mixed because I think. Oh wait, do we have a death? I can't tell. The
There we
lag
go.
screwed me over there. But
Yeah, same
no, but
situation.
yeah, I
But
think both runners have had kind of mixed experiences here. Because obviously they're tied. And I feel like Quist this entire match has, or I mean this entire set, not this specific match. Um, has been very shaky, has made a lot of mistakes, but has been going pretty fast. Whereas, like you said with Dwoh, Dwoh could have just put the game away last match. Unfortunately, didn't, um, and not getting the 0 off. And so I think that feeling, I was talking about this a second ago, that feeling of being really close and then not quite getting it, and now you need to do a whole nother match again, I think that's really, really tough. It's not like game over for Dwoh mental wise, but I think that is a challenging sort of mental block, and hopefully he won't get in his head about it.
Yeah, and I mean, you only have about 5, 6, 7, at most like 10 minutes of perfect Minecraft left, and then you get to take a break, watch the rest of the matches today, come back and play tomorrow.
Yep.
So you just got to focus for a little bit more. Just keep that mental solid for just a little bit more time,
True.
and that's it. And I mean, Dwoh again ahead entering the Bastion. Gonna go back down to check trades. Probably gonna be ahead leaving the Bastion as well, but Quist also playing pretty quick. Double split, pearls and string. Enough fire res and Dwoh's out. I think Quist, I don't know if he's pearl hanging and he's also out quickly. I think he has to check top chests here, so going to be behind as well. Throw the pearl hang, which is nice. Is the fort visible? Think so. Maybe a bad pearl. No, it looks like a good pearl. Yeah, and the fort's visible on the right, so. Is that the spawner too? No. And Dwoh ahead in the fort, sees the spawner on the right. 2 strays here. I mean, if I think there's enough of a lead. Maybe not. I mean, Quist catching up though. Not enough of a lead yet for sure. Especially we have seen. I mean, Skelly here. I don't know what the spare food is. If there's any salmon or if this was a low cod. Yeah, no food. So you're on 5 hearts. Did Dwoh really eat all his food? Does he really have no salmon? Quist has 2 salmon. Is he really out? Is this Dwoh's downfall? I don't see. I don't see salmon in the inventory. He has no food.
Oh no.
And I mean, surely he grabbed it
mean-
from the BT, right? So it's food management, it's damage management. I mean, we saw it literally in the last game. Dwoh ahead every split and then loses time to having to rip a hunger
Yeah.
reset. And Quist has like 2 salmon and the same health. And so he's going to not have to hunger reset maybe at all. Or maybe only has to hunger reset once and Dwoh has to hunger reset twice. So that could just be all the time save. I mean, in the last match, it was all of Quist's time save in the entire seed. And I mean, I was gonna say Dwoh because we were talking about him being low, but Quist almost dying in the spawner.
Looks like he's okay. Still scaring me though.
Yeah, and maybe he just lost all the food advantage that I was talking about, just getting hit by 2 blazes, and Dwoh able to pick up a couple pork
Yeah.
chops. Like so,
Commentator's curse. It's okay. It's
it
okay.
might have just went completely like flipped who was ahead here in our food situation.
Food race. I mean, the food race is really the. I mean, I don't know. I feel like the quality and quantity of food is it's very important for not only speed but also just life is. Food is good. That's what I'm trying to say. I like food.
Yeah, and I mean these pork chops are putting in work. He's heading to the stronghold. He's on 10 hearts. Maybe I don't really know how close it is. He's building to cords now. Oh, fell. House fire res. That was scary. But I mean, he's got enough food to not even have to hunger reset and go for a 0, assuming you take no damage in the stronghold. Still has like some additional healing as well from still being on full hunger. As Quist is still measuring eyes. I mean, we're running out of time to catch up for Quist. Dirty. This is very professional. Keep serious.
Oh,
Bacon-
sorry.
bacon or
I
salmon?
could know myself. I could know myself. I'm sorry. It's just the
Okay,
debate
forgive you.
between their 2 kinds of food is I think very important. You know what I mean?
I mean, I agree with you. I think you're
Yeah.
right. I would say bacon, but I think I'm
That's fair.
allergic
I'm
to
a
salmon.
salmon guy, but I can respect that. It's like they're both very good. And in Minecraft agrees with you because pork chops are better. But I guess pork chops aren't bacon, but whatever.
Would bacon ever? They should have bacon in Minecraft. That should be a mob vote. Food vote. Bacon. Food vote. Minecraft food vote.
That would be good.
Thoughts?
I like the idea.
Maybe it's like too I don't even know. Well, they decided on pork chop like 10 years ago, 12 years ago, or whatever.
Yeah, fair
Anyways,
enough.
Dwoh can't
Not
find the
destructive at all.
portal.
Not
Yeah,
destructive at
Dwoh
all.
can't find the portal room. I've been watching him nav. Like, it's just getting to lap 2 here on this stronghold, and it's giving Quist time to catch up. And if he's able to hit the preemptive, like, both runners at this point are going to have to hunger reset to try and zero. So Dwoh lost his advantage of having that full health, having those pork chops, because it took so long in the stronghold. 2 pearls, not chest. But, I mean, Quist is in, and Dwoh doesn't seem to know where we're chilling. I mean, is this even start, or your portal isn't even here? You think he sees it though, and he's gonna aggressive pearl, but Quist is just there also through the lag. Okay, talking about games of seconds here. This could be it. Like, is Quist hunger
Wow.
resetting? He doesn't have the hunger reset build set up. Yeah, he's going to the side to do it. Oh no, fire! He's dead. It's over. It's over. It's over.
I can't believe what I just watched.
I mean, it's not over. Quist is having some struggles here in the fucking hunger reset with a silverfish, and you could choke the zero, but I'd put like 100 to 1 odds in the fact that it's over. You'd have to completely die and have no comeback potential. He doesn't obviously know. He doesn't know that Dwoh's dead, so he's gonna full send this zero, but it's just, especially if it's not zeroable, it's over. He's gonna full send it though. Through the lag, we're gonna have to see what's happening. 87 going to 95 in the back, very hittable. Built to 96? Is it breaking? Did he fix it? Literally can't tell. Gets the bet off. He'd have to die mid-zero. Oh my god, it's low! Okay, he clutched. Sorry about the lag, guys. It's, there's not much we can really do about the internet provider situation.
No, it's just building suspense. It's just building suspense.
But he clutched. And yeah, I mean, not only heartbreaking to hop into the portal room lava seconds away from entering the end, equally heartbreaking to watch the game back later, know that Quist choked the zero, and know that you were 1 successful zero away from playing on Sunday in the semis, potentially winning the playoffs. I mean, wow,
That's
man.
just
Like,
so brutal, man. Yeah, it's just heartbreaking. I just feel so, and honestly, dude, like, huge respect to Dwoh for continuing to play.
Quist can even make it. Okay, he does through the lag. Yeah, I mean, he didn't forfeit. He's still playing because Quist could have made a similar mistake, but he doesn't. It's going to be the 1 cycle. It's going to be Quist coming back from down 2 to 1 to win our first quarterfinals match. 3 to 2. Wow. I mean, it's a sad way to go out, but it just came down to the runner who made the least amount of mistakes throughout the matches. That's what it was.
Yeah, I mean, fair enough. I guess you know, GG. I think both runners played well. It sucks to see the match end that way, I feel like, but at the same time, I mean, well played to both runners. Yeah, I mean, the mistake there from Dwoh obviously is heartbreaking, but I still feel like Dwoh has a lot to be proud of. You know, getting this far in this tournament is really impressive, and not only that, but you know, it's obviously very heartbreaking that he got so close to getting to the next round, but didn't. But at the same time, it's impressive that he got so close to getting to the next round, and I think there's a lot of pride that can be taken there. You know, great effort. You know, some nerves, whatever. Next season, I expect Dwoh to be a top contender.